You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing daily, hopefully. Hello, today is Tuesday the 1st of October and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. I probably on the last one erroneously said or gave the impression I was actually going to be back yesterday, Monday. I got my days muddled up. It was always my intention to be back on the 1st of October, so today. I did say if I got any writing done in the meantime, I might come back early. I didn't even try to be honest. It was quite nice to have a little break from it all. So, I am not in one of my usual locations. Mind you, my usual locations is anywhere on the sodding planet, isn't it? So that doesn't really... but it's not... I'm somewhere not at home, but nothing to do with work. I've got a little holiday. I am in Devon, and I'm quite close to Exeter. I'm about to go shopping to get some food in and bits and pieces. I was staying in a lovely little lodge. It's on a golf course, but I'll forgive the golfers. They can't help it. They were genetically predisposition to like a stupid game. I'm not a golf fan, sorry. I knew it was on a golf course, don't get me wrong. But I can't really see the green, or I'm not in danger of being hit by stray balls or anything, so that's fine. Yeah, so I got here. I actually originally booked it to arrive yesterday. However, I went to a show yesterday. I think I might have mentioned it in the run-up. I'm not sure. I've certainly mentioned it to friends enough, but I can't remember if I mentioned it on here. So yesterday, I went to see a live recording of Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast, which is, as the name sounds, in Leicester Square in London. Well, it's just off Leicester Square. It's a place called Leicester Place, but it's literally 15 seconds walk from the square itself. And it's this lovely little theatre. And we were in the downstairs auditorium bit where Richard Herring always does his shows. And it's basically an interview. It's a chat show, effectively, that he does. But he gets some really good guests on. And every now and then I feel compelled to go and see... I've listened to it for years. And every now and then I feel compelled to go and see one recorded live. So years ago, I saw Mark Thomas, who is a comedian who you may or may not have heard of. And I can't remember the guy's name, but it was the director, the guy that directed... what's that famous zombie film? Not Rob Zombie. Oh, the British director, Edward something. Oh, I can't even remember what the film was called. The one with Simon Pegg and that lot in it. Yeah, he directed that anyway. That'll come back to me. I probably should have checked. Well, I didn't. I was going to say it, so I couldn't do. But yeah, so I'm sure it's Edward. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that was a few years back. I saw those two interviewed, and then last year I saw Davina McCall interviewed. Actually, literally was sat right in front of her, got really good tickets, and interacted with her, which was quite nice. And then the people I went to see being interviewed yesterday were, and this is the reason I booked the ticket, was because it was Adrian Edmondson of Young Ones, Bottom. Yeah, he was in Star Wars. He's just done a lot of acting. He's done a lot of comedy. And he was kind of a very influential figure, I suppose, in my taste and my sense of humour as I grew up. And it was really interesting. He's not a naturally fun... He is funny, but he's very sensible, because, of course, you associate him with the character of Vivian from The Young Ones. And... So it was a really interesting watching. Okay, he was hilarious at moments, absolutely hilarious. Some of the stuff he came out with, but also really interesting interview. So there was Adrian Edmondson, so really enjoyed that, and then followed on by Michael Sheen, the actor. Again, I would argue he's best known for things like Frost Nixon or. I think he was in the Twilight movies, unfortunately. He did that amazing. I don't know if it was a sitcom, but the comedy drama Staged during COVID, which was, all about, well, it was basically him playing himself and David Tennant playing himself, kind of trying to rehearse a play over Skype for when lockdown finally ended. It was really good, really, really good show. Very talented actor, very, very funny man. It's interesting because it's obvious that Edmondson doesn't know Richard Herring, and it was a good interview. Don't get me, it was very interesting. It's also very obvious that Michael Sheen does know him, and they've obviously met several times. They share a similar sense of humour, and some of the stuff that they were coming out with was unrepeatably awful and funny. I mean, the podcast, well, I'm not sure, because he used to basically record them on a Monday and release them on a Wednesday, but he does so many that there's one a week, but he releases them in a schedule that's appropriate to him, so no idea when these two will come out. But no, really enjoyed the live show. Got back home, oh God, it was about 1 a.m, because the show finished at 10, had to get back from London, had to drop a friend off in Bedford. So yeah, it was a late night. And my original plan was to get up stupidly early and get here in Devon for like 8 or 9 in the morning. However, that didn't happen because I was still awake at 3 in the morning. And also something I ordered on eBay, which I was told would arrive on the 3rd of October, actually arrived 4 days early yesterday. Now, because I travel a lot, I'm not at home very often, most things when I have the option to have them delivered somewhere other than my home, I do that. So I actually have these things. I usually get eBay stuff delivered to my local Argos store and just pick it up at my convenience because they keep it for a week. Unfortunately, because they delivered it yesterday, my deadline for picking it up would have been the day I was due to come back from this holiday. And my original plan was to basically mosey on back gently, do stuff on the way and get home in the evening, which I wouldn't have been able to do because I needed to pick up this item. However, I decided to to sleep in this morning, and pick up the item this morning and then come here. So I've done it. So there we go. That's me. I haven't done any writing today. I'm going to basically get to the writing tomorrow. Today, as I sort of settle in, I'm going to go and do a little shop and a bit of reading this afternoon. But yeah, it's a nice place. I'm going to chill for a week. And I've still got almost a week, more than a week off after that before I go back to work. And then I only got back to work for 2 weeks. And I have, they offered unpaid leave for November. So I have taken them up on it. So November, you're going to have to put up with a lot of writing bollocks because it's a writing tournament called NaNoWriMo. I haven't decided what I'm going to do in NaNoWriMo yet, but I'm going to do something with that month. So there will be daily writing updates, hopefully, if it all goes to plan. Anyway, that's me. Thank you for listening. I'll be back at some point tomorrow. Thank you for listening, and thank you for allowing me to have a few days off because I desperately needed it. Take care. See you soon. Bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my link tree at linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.